Hello everyone, welcome back to Clusterbmilkshake. I am your host, along with support puppet, Mr. Chicken. Yay! Today, we are going to talk about psychopathy. Yes! Now, I did a bunch of research in the past couple days with Abigail March, PhD, and Luke W. Hyde, PhD, who study psychopathy. Okay, they're not just ramen noodling it and thinking that they know everything about the thing. Or Dr. Grande, he was, I watched something on him and he's throwing all kinds of misinformation too. And Sam Vaknin. Okay. So listening to people who actually do this for a living, we have learned that psychopathy is a personality disorder. It's not in the DSM because too many, fucking scientific minds are fucking with the book and saying what to put and what to not. They used to call it sociopathy, right? Sociopathy. Sociopaths, which is an old construct from the 1800s to the early 1900s, and the internet loves to interchange the two, either between antisocial personality disorder or fucking psychopathy. Okay? Let's get that out of here. Okay? Let's get that out of here. So, antisocial personality disorder are behavioral traits, and psychopaths is having antisocial personality disorder plus extra negative personality characteristics. And of course, psychopaths and antisocials do have NPD, okay, or fucking traits, big time. So Abigail said that there's 3 core traits of psychopathy. That's callousness, being bold, controlling, dominance, fearless, and trouble managing impulses, especially when we're pissed, bored, or getting a goal met. They can manifest in different ways behaviorally. They can manifest as aggression and criminal violence, but not all psychopaths are violent criminals. Okay? So the closest thing to psychopathy as a diagnosis is what they look for in children, and that's conduct disorder. Now, conduct disorder, you have to have these things before the age of 15. And that is physical aggression, cruelty towards animals, and assaulting others. Yes. Violating others' rights, theft, and vandalism. Yes. Lying or manipulation. Yes. Delinquent behaviors, truancy, running away from home. Yes. Bullying, threatening. Yes. Breaking curfew. Cheating in school. Yes. I wouldn't have been able to graduate high school unless I did that. Emotionally or physically abusive. Yes. Trouble with feeling and expressing empathy and remorse. Showing emotions, trouble with showing emotions towards others. Yes. And I mask this up by being funny all the time. Performing well in school, trouble with performing well in school or community and blaming others for poor performance. Substance abuse. Now, I was around a bunch of drug addicts and stuff, and so, I was smoking pot like at 10 years old, and then because my aunt would, just to be nice. And, you know, I told her, negatol. But I was smoking and drinking and stuff age 14. Risk-taking behavior, yes. Physical injury from accidents or fights, no. But I would give that to others. Okay. So I have all everything for the antisocial makeup, you know, traits. Now, being narcissistic is a huge part. Oh, fuck. I forgot the other shit. Sorry. So conduct disorder is the first part with the antisocial personality behavioral traits. And then you have to have limited pro-social emotions. So an uncaring personality, yes. Limited empathy or remorse, yes. And not showing strong emotions like fear or sadness. And as you know, the 50% that are born that way, well, the other 50% also had the childhood trauma environment where that was kicked the shit out of. So you don't fear getting in fucking trouble no more. And you can't be sad or you're going to get your ass kicked. So being narcissistic is a huge part of conduct disorder and psychopathy, that these people don't see anything wrong with themselves, especially in childhood. This is correct because this is our normal, you know. Even acting out, it's we don't care, you know. You're going to hear this a lot, you know, when it comes to you know, the darker side of your people. Is we don't care. I don't care. So, you know, and then you hear it a lot, you know, when you research it from actual diagnosed psychopaths and, you know, the criminals too. So if you think the problem is with everybody else and not you, it's hard to treat or even seek help. And, you know, if you're pointing these behaviors out at us, you know, you're going to get a big old, right? Because it's you. I'm reacting to you. And the feelings that I feel in myself are normal to me. She says that psychopathy is treatable but difficult. It's better to catch it early on in children and to parent with positive reinforcement, empathy mirroring, and showing them that treating others well gets a better response. No shaming to correct behavior, but don't fall into tantrums. Okay, beware of the punishments that you are giving. You need to just, you know, you need to have strong boundaries. And if they cross those boundaries, then there's consequences. Okay? Because we get used to becoming fearless to being punished. When you're being a, you know, an a-hole parent all the time. It's like, this is normal. What? Why change? Also, you're not going to believe me when I'm being good or telling the truth. So, right? Okay. Children with psychopathy traits don't seem to give affection or get anything out of affection. Now, I do not remember my childhood of affection. I do have one core memory of laying with my mom on the couch, and that's a core memory because I feel like that's the only time when I was, you know, feeling that from her. But this is why I'm always like, you know, I want police tape around me. Don't touch me. Even my kids would joke and smother me on purpose because they know I fucking hate it, just to fuck with me, you know? And I'd be screaming for them to get off of me and stuff. Never wanted to be intimate or close with my ex-husband. I fucking hated it. Even having to give him a kiss every day, it was more of a chore to me. And this is why, you know, when I tell you guys this, and my recent ex told me that he's the same way, that when we got together, we were like this. And he's thinking that I'm lying about me wanting to be like I'm faking affection for him. And I'm telling him that I feel connected to him also during sex, because I do not care about sex. And psychopaths can be also hypersexual or asexual. And I do not care about sex, but because I was connected to him, he saw all my ugly shit that I've always been hiding. So I felt exposed. And, you know, until you get into the devaluation stage, you know, I felt good about that kind of closeness. And of course, he thought I was lying. He kept throwing it in my face all the time. And it's just like, you're just like my mom, dude. Fucking saying that I'm lying when I'm telling the truth. Thanks, bro. All right. So, in brain imaging, only the children who have psychopathic traits show reduced activity in the amygdala. And another dude said prefrontal cortex. But kids who were had aggressive traits had heightened activity. So I remembered that, you know, my mom told me when I was born, they had to use the fucking medieval forceps on my fucking head. And they crushed the shit out of my head that my mom thought I was going to have brain damage. Now, as you see, my head is big as fuck. You know, sorry, mom's vajay. And trying to get me through her pelvis, they had to crush my fucking head. And my father would always call me conehead, even when I was fucking, you know, older. Conehead. Thanks. So I don't know if that damaged me too, because traumatic brain injuries also cause personality changes. Yay. Yay. All right. So on average, 50% of personality traits are hereditary. Environmental development, childhood trauma plays a huge role. It's not that psychopaths are born 100%, no more. They did tests, dude. They even took, I thought this was fucking weird. They took families and had a control. Okay, so parents who are treating their kids like normal piece of shit or whatever, and seeing if they grow into, you know, a disordered whatever. And then also taking kids who, like, they were twins, having, you know, one was treated different than the other. One's coming out fucking, you know, personality disorder. The other one is not. Just look at fucking Lee. Lee's a twin. And then they started teaching the parents how to be good parents and being good parents, you know, to the kids. And so they have all these studies and everything. They also have, you know, kids who are having the psychopathic traits and treating them well, or antisocial personality disorder traits and treating them well. And then they said, you know, it's so funny, and they're like, well, we don't want to talk shit about the parents and everything being, you know, fucking garbage parents, because, you know, us as kids are difficult to raise. And now my mom's gonna fucking be throwing off the fireworks, and it's like, honey, you're fucking disordered too, so I don't want to hear it. All right, so she says working with psychopaths and children with psychopathic traits, that you cannot tell them apart from normies. You can't. This is why I've always told you that, you know, people ask, you know, did anybody ever call you fucking narcissist? It's like, no, dude, I fly under the motherfucking radar, but I can pick out other personality traded people, because, you know, you're just fucking throwing that shit out there. I'm fucking, you know, I'm a watcher, and I'm making sure that, you know, I'm paying attention to all of my actions, except for, you know, of course, we're going to react. We're going to project. Our anger will come out, but See, it doesn't come out all the time with me. And because, you know, I have, you know, the void that we talk about, the emptiness, which is different from borderlines, but there's a void, you know, and it just keeps you at baseline. Now, some people will think that, yeah, you can be baseline when you're not in a relationship. I was fucking just dead inside for my 25-year relationship with my ex-husband. Just baseline, dude. And the only person that really triggered the fuck out of me was the borderline flavor. Mom, when I was younger, but now, you know, just her shit does not bother me. You know, I don't react to her any, you know, I just don't. But yeah, so, you know, I know that this is my base. And I know that trying to fake happy in my last relationship all the time because I was trying to be a good partner, and that was painful. That was painful, and I don't like it. I don't like doing the fake thing, but I don't want to treat my partner unwell, but I don't want to fake emotions with him either, and he would probably think that I don't like him. So, and that's not cool either. So that whole relationship shit the bed, and I'm just like, I don't know at this point in time, you know, I can't have a relationship that's of, you know, love and, you know, bonding and stuff. I can't do that. And I do believe that from my perspective, I don't think that we're lonely for companionship. I don't. I think it's just because we want a distraction. That's all I think. I don't think that, I think it looks like it's loneliness because we're okay to be alone. You know, the ones with the psychopathic traits. We're okay being alone. But the lonely shit, it's like, because when I'm thinking about a relationship, it's like, you know, I like having a companion, but I very much hate having to fake my feelings to make you comfortable. And that's also me projecting that you want this from me, but fuck, you do. You do. You do. I also want a good reflection from, you know, my past person, but I really didn't give a shit about my super long-term relationship. It's, you know, it's exhausting. Fucking exhausting. Anyways, okay, so the psychopathy checklist revised. I'm just doing all the behaviors and traits. I'm not going to break them up into factor 1, factor 2, you know, where they're like, factor 1 is, you know, the main fucking factor 2 is the antisocial shit. And, you know, and then, you know, when the borderline fucking freaks out and they turn into a secondary, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to write just the behaviors that we struggle with, okay? So lack of emotional empathy response, a deficit for the pain of others, seeing the pain in others. We don't. This is why I tell you that there's a complete disconnect. You're like, you know, you're abusive, you know. It's like, no, this is my normal, and since I don't feel the pain from you, no. Only now I know that it is. Only now, actually being aware and self-reflective, it's like, yeah, and yeah, that does suck for you, doesn't it? And of course, I've had it done to me too, so I do know. But of course, you know, I'm gonna rip you a new asshole for doing anything bad to me. The fearlessness. Also, you know, I looked up, you know, psychopaths can be paranoid, and, you know, because they don't trust anybody. They don't trust anybody. But, you know, they do like the adrenaline rush and stuff, and, you know, horror movies, not freaking out or caring when something bad happens, you know, those feelings of, you know, no fear. One time my brother-in-law got shot in the line of duty, and my ex-husband and I were making jokes to the cops that came to fucking see us. It's like, well, he said it was gonna fucking happen. You know, we're just like totally disconnected, just completely disconnected. Reward dependent. This is the stealing, you get caught, you don't give a fuck, you do it again. You know, you get in trouble. Like, you know, I went to jail for stealing when I was 14. And when I got out, I wanted this jacket and I fucking stole it. I wanted it. I needed it. And it was an impulsive thing. It's like, just, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to do the thing. This can probably be like, you know, when somebody cheats and they're caught and they're just going to fucking do it again. You know, they just want the reward of, you know, getting that self-esteem juice or sex or whatever from somebody else. Being impulsive, not thinking these things through. And what's funny is that this can be, you know, contradictory to being manipulative, because we have to fucking think about what we're doing to get the things that we want, you know? So we are like, you know, writing down in our head, okay, I have to do this, 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 and this to get what we want. Sometimes it's automatic, sometimes not. But to counter that is, on the flip side, is our impulsivity. Just fucking doing things right away. This could be moving. You know, it was just one day, it's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the lease office, I'm gonna fucking move. It's like, no big fucking deal, I'm just gonna do the thing. Lack of remorse or guilt. Yep. Glibness or superficial charming. Yes. Grandiosity. Grandiose sense of self-worth. The pathological lying. Now this one I have to research a little bit more. Now, like, you know, our whole life is a lie. We have to mask up all the time, and we've been doing it all the time. Now, there's people, you know, and I have researched people who lie when they don't have to. And this is actually ingrained in them. Then there's the ones, because we're fucking boring. We're boring. And so we are have to create this fantasy, right? And we're living in this fantasy. So pathological liars will also lie about events that took place, or embellish stories. I'm not saying that I never did that in the past. I can't fucking remember doing it, you know, in the recent fucking past. You know, I'm a big advocator for just omitting things. So, you know, you don't get in trouble if you don't say the fucking thing, right? Anyways, conning, being manipulative. Shallow affect. Yes. And I do have this. I have shown this on some videos. I have. And a lot of the time I want to make sure that I'm more fun, you know, and just so you don't get fucking bored. So I won't show that. I won't do the monotone voice or have little facial expression, but that really is my fucking normal. That is my normal. Failure to accept responsibility for own actions, justifying, you know, everything's your fault anyway, blame shifting and shit, right? Need for stimulation, proneness to boredom. Yes, very fucking bored. I mean, the void. Fill the void with something, whether it's negative shit or positive shit. Just fucking dump it. Parasitic lifestyle, yes. So I've never lived alone until recently. And only when I got my divorce, you know, and taken half the fucking shit, it's like, okay, now I have a cush to live on my own. But if I did not have that, I could not do that. And so I would have to fucking, you know, be leeching off somebody else. Lack of realistic long-term goals. Yes, in Psychopaths, I've read this in Without a Conscience, when people in prison, psychopaths in prison, they're like, I'm just living in the moment, man. And I have said this. It's like, you know, my past person would be like, well, what are your long-term goals? And that's like, I'm doing the thing. What? Is that not fucking enough? I'm doing the fucking thing. I'm doing this. It's like, why am I going to have these other fucking goals out there when I'm just going to change my mind anyways? You know, I do things in the moment. I change my mind all the time. You guys call that future faking. But, you know, it's like, and he does that too. So I'm just like, and then, you know, the whole thing, do you ever want to get married? Do you ever? And then it's like, well, I'm happy now. Why do we have to push that? You know, I can live with you for live with you in my life for the rest of my life. You know, I'm happy in the present moment, living in the present moment, you know? And then he might be like, oh, you never want it. You never want, fucking he don't want us, so I don't want to hear it. All right. Irresponsibility. Examples. Letting your plants die. Not paying, I always let my plants die, dude. Not paying bills or taxes. Missing appointments. Leaving out, I put this one. I left out the fucking garbage in the kitchen, and my dog got into it. My little Yorkie got into it, ate a big old chicken nugget, choked on it, and died. So that's me being irresponsible for the death of my dog. Drunk driving, yeah. Crappy parenting concerning the child's welfare, yes. Poor behavior control. So we are prone to react, you know, to slights and stuff, taking shit the wrong way, making a mountain out of a molehill or whatever. This is why cognitive therapy is helpful for psychopaths. I was told, okay? Cognitive therapy, schema therapy, and transference therapy is good, so you keep at a baseline. And me doing cognitive therapy and me not letting fucking, you know, especially, you know, the parental unit get to you, you feel just fucking nice and dead inside. Psychopaths are not exclusively instrumentally aggressive. To the contrary, reactive aggression is more frequent. Although some psychopathic traits, callousness, and lack of guilt may lessen the likelihood of the intensity of depression and anxiety, others with poor impulse control are associated with heightened risks of these emotions. Psychopaths are not devoid of all feelings, especially anger and other negative emotions. Positive emotions are fleeting. Psychopaths tend to live day to day and change their plans frequently. They give no serious thought to the future or worry about it. I already talked about flat effect, and Sam says, as your was your ex a narcissist or a psychopath? Narcissists are rarely invested in other people, but are invested in their own fantasies. Even during devaluation and discard, there is a negative investment. Possessiveness, envy, hatred, rage, anger, etc. The psychopath he says the psychopath isn't invested in anything, which is both shit, because we are very invested in our careers. I also don't think that we are cool being alone, but we are not lonely. I think we just want a companion. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Namaste.